And we're live. Mixlife number 72 or 73 or 75. I think it's 7. I'm pretty sure it's 72. I think. You guys did 70 while I was gone, and then 71 I did last week, right? Yes, correct. How's everybody doing? 70.
We sound like naked and afraid contestants. It's day 72 or 1. We lost count on the rock.
Stockholm Syndrome, the mixing podcast.
I'm taking Adam's recommendation of this frosty Concord grape soda. It's amazing.
Oh, that's good.
This ice cream shop has like a whole giant cooler full of nothing but like weird vintage sodas.
The best soda experience I had was this like a little diner. It's
pretty good.
It's like a burger place, but it's all baseball themed, so it's all old baseball memorabilia, and it's the size of a closet, so you can only stand there to order. And they have all these vintage sodas, and you got to eat the burger and drink the soda outside. So it's like a cool experience, and that's where I had that at. So I'm a fan of those strange sodas. I like sarsaparillas. My
kid's been getting a lot of ice cream lately, so that I have an excuse to go there and buy a bunch of weird ass soda.
Don't your archaic soda habit.
Right, like I just have to cover it up with something, right? Like I'm taking the kid out for ice cream. It's not weird when I come back with 20 bottles of fucking.
You're way more excited to go than the kid. He's like, fine, ice cream.
I have to talk him into it. He's like, Dad, I don't want to go.
Again, we had ice cream yesterday. You're like, please.
We were just there an hour ago.
That's awesome. So, what's been going on in your mixing world? You guys mixing some stuff for public? Anything?
I'm still wrapping for the client project, but I did get the new round of Wonder Flavor stuff in, and I've got some knuckle tests and a smell test, and everything smells really good except the mascarpone cream cheese smells like dirty feet, but that's the sign of like a good cream, right? Good
cheesy cream.
Yeah, good toe cheese cream.
It's cream cheese, right? It's supposed to be cream cheese, mascarpone cream cheese, which is kind of a weird.
I mean, you can't be scared of some butyric notes until you try it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, because like when I tried brie cheese, it was horrible. It was horrible. Well, I mean, I mixed it at 2%, which was a mistake. But now that I've tried it lower, like it's pretty cool stuff, and you can use it in a lot of shit.
Have you done it day one? Have you ever made that mistake?
Oh yeah, no. I always try everything fresh, even if I know it's going to be a bad idea.
It's straight up like buffalo blue cheese dip. Ah. Blue. I need a soundboard. We got so much good stuff. Come on, right. Super fan.
Saving our clips. So if we switch to Zoom, I think we can do it.
I need the super fans. The super fans need to step up. They need to start clipping up the show. We need memes. We need graphics. We need
money.
Money. Super chat. If your Bitcoin's up, is that a super chat?
Just all the cryptocurrency. We're super crypto. No, I've just been stuck in some
total value $1.
I've been stuck in some sort of weird black hole where I'm working on a lot of stuff and haven't had time to do any actual flavor reviews, so I'm feeling guilty about that. So I will theoretically be able to talk about mixing at some point after this week is over. That will be fun.
I did get a chance to sample some of the Liquid Barn one-shot round.
Which ones?
Ash sent me a big package, so it had all of Wayne's one-shots and then some of the re-ups, the purple grape.
Oh, do tell. Copel.
That purple grape re-up is pretty stellar. Watermelon is what I expected. It's a pretty good watermelon. It's not, I don't know.
The best watermelon in the world?
It's freshly mixed, so I mean, I don't think it's the best watermelon in the world.
Everybody knows Melon Waters is the best watermelon in the world.
I think it's pretty good, though. It's pretty good. The King's Custard needs to steep, but it wasn't bad off the shake. This re-up, though, this stuff right here,
That one's fire. I love that one.
That re-up stuff, like
It's on.
super solid.
It's good. It's really good. I was surprised. And that basic 3 milligram mix is surprisingly convenient. And you're right; those little twisty cap things that go in the center are pure magic.
Did you get a mystery box?
I'm excited to vape all of those basic bottles so that I can reuse them. Because that little pull-out cap thing is fucking. It's the best thing I've ever used.
It changes the whole scenario.
Alaska Vapor, the re-ups come from Liquid Barn. They're pretty good. I was really impressed.
Yeah, and like that was the thing that I think I was happiest with the re-up stuff is like when you talk about people buying like easy to mix stuff, you generally want some really accessible flavor profiles, and those are all really accessible, really solid. Those basic bottles are easy. Like it's a really good like starter. Like if your first DIY experience was buying those re-up flavors and mixing them in a basic bottle, like you're fucking set. Like that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's good. And it was not bad, I guess. So it's like 5 60 mils for $20 of the basics or whatever, which isn't terrible. I mean, if you make it yourself, obviously it's a lot cheaper buying everything in bulk, right? But I mean, if you're not looking for all that hassle and having to deal with getting bottles and keeping a big stock all over the house or whatever, like it's a pretty good setup. I think for somebody who wasn't as committed to DIY on a level like we are, like, you know, I think that's a really good like intermediate place to be. I think if I wasn't mixing full time, I would probably just buy those because it's not expensive.
If I wasn't mixing, I'd just buy more cool menthol and lots of nicotine.
Right, exactly. Like I would just buy gallons of eucalyptus with mint and
just more nicotine is probably healthy. I think in order to deal with my vape related like stress, I've started vaping more nicotine. I think this batch is up to like 4.5 milligrams in the squonker.
I have like 2 gallons of fruit based nicotine and a gallon of Nic salts. So I mean, probably like more than any human should really need to have in their home.
I got too much stuff to mix, and so I compensate by getting even more blasted on nicotine. It works out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, with the salts, I definitely go higher, but with freebase, I still stick to 3 or lower. Sometimes 1.5.
Just got to ride the dragon, man. I do all my testing at 1.5, but yeah, apparently the way I blow off steam is just like 4.5 milligram in the squonk, or just cool menthol straight to the dome.
Well, Jen's here. Jen, you can hop in if you want, or you can just troll us in chat if you're feeling like it.
Just make fun of us. That's fine.
Just pick on us in chat. The saying Petian, or however I don't even know how you say that shit. It smells good, but I haven't mixed it yet.
No, it's really good.
It smelled really good. I should have mixed it first because it smelled the most interesting, to be honest. Like, I mean, custard is custard, and I'm sure his King's custard is pretty good. Like, it's custard, and it's just really not my thing. So even if it's a really good custard, I probably won't appreciate it the same way. But this.
Yeah, did you get the Sang Patayan one?
I did get it. It smells incredible.
That's the one that I was like, all right, it was the first recipe he's done that looked kind of out of his comfort zone of where he's had great recipes before.
And I got the quick, but I've had that before, and it's pretty good for a strawberries cream, which is again not really my thing. It's good though for what it is. I like it, but yeah, but some of these wonder flavors, the new line of I got these. They got new colors bottles, right? The carrot cake actually smells like carrot cake as opposed to like all the other carrot cake flavorings I've ever tried. So I think that there's some promise there.
That'd be good.
Like it smells like cake and stewed carrots, like when you steam carrots, like on your stovetop. Like that's what it smells like. It doesn't smell like all that funky peel like I get from all the other carrot flavorings. So I think there's some definite
the earthiness, like it's dragged in dirt.
The eucalyptus with mint, their eucalyptus with mint smells way more like cough drops than the eucalyptus with mint from Inawera. Like I get like a serious Halls vibe from it.
Hey, can I interrupt for a second?
Absolutely.
You guys have a good line on PET bottles. Labworks is asking in the chat. Paul.
Yeah. Probably just dropperbottles.com.
Do they do PET there?
Let me look while we're chatting here. I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah, they do PET. Big Mouth Boston's 32 for 100. And it goes up if you're going to 120s, it's like $42. But for just 60 mils, it's $34. I'll drop the link in the chat. I've used dropper bottles for like literally everything. Here's the link to the PET dropper bottles. Those are the guys I use. Just like every other, like, I don't know, they leak a little tiny bit, but it's not too bad if you just wipe off the top before you drip or fill your tank. That's who I use like 90% of the time.
See, I'm mostly useless, Paul, but I hang out with people who aren't. So
they're good.
That's my trick.
Yeah, dropper bottles are good. I really like them. Overall, they're pretty reliable.
Oh, energy drink aficionado, vape train Red Bull energy drink flavor. It is not great. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be like a very specific Australia kind of energy drink, but it comes off a little dry and a little harsh for me. I don't know if it really added much over like Hanks and Red and Energy or even Flavor West Red Bull.
The two best smellers I think out of this are Yang Mi or Yang Mei berry, which is like a Chinese bayberries. It smells really good. And the snake fruit smells pretty good. The cola gummies smells like you just opened a bag of Haribos. Like, so less cola and more weird gummy. But I mean, it's hard to say once you mix it. Wonder Flavors is one of those brands that the smell doesn't always match the vapes. Like Saskatoon Berries is actually pretty decent, but it smells horrendous.
Did you get a random box in the mail from Chef's?
Yeah, I know what it is. I'll tell you about it later. It's that giveaway thing, remember?
Yeah, I thought I might have to judge it.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, eggnog custard on sale, out of stock. Sorry, folks. It's all gone. Merry Christmas.
It's all gone. Yeah. Is it done?
Yeah, for now. If we do a Christmas
try to bring that one
line,
back for Christmas again.
yeah, it does well every time. And then I did a revision on the last year, so it's like a round 2. But the second one was really good. It's good. That was like a month of working on it because it was. I went back to like old notes from Reddit and stuff, like anything I could find on an eggnog ever made ever as an e-juice.
Yeah, eggnog's a bitch of it.
It is. It's a weird trick to pull it off.
I mean, eggnog in general is weird. So,
and it's not.
I don't even like eggnog. I hate it.
I don't think I even have eggnog in that. That's the crazy thing, is it's like built from scratch. Because I think at the time I created this first one, they only had Capella eggnog, maybe, right? And that got this
eggnog is horrendous, dude.
Horrendous, right?
So
and then there might be a Flavor Apprentice one too. And I was like, what are these? These are not. I think I tried horchata and eggnog when my first order, because I was like, this is awesome. I can make these. No.
Not a nog aficionado myself.
Yeah, I can't do the eggnog, man. It's gross. Like,
I can't get near Thanksgiving. Like, well, okay, I'm better now, but you know, in the reasons why I'm fat book, that was in there, because I would just fucking chug it. And if you look at the calories, it's basically melted ice cream, you know. So if you're chugging down glasses of it,
that's just it. Like, and there's just something wrong inherently with booze and milk. I feel the same way about White Russians. Like,
yeah, I don't even like boozy eggnog. I like just regular. I want to get fat eggnog. There's no reason to drink it at all. Like, I'm talking like I would buy like 4 different kinds of eggnog to like sample the flavor differences.
I mean, eggnog's a seasonally acceptable excuse to get plastered around your family more than anything else. And yeah, it's just kind of a waste of not even good rum, just any kind of like alcohol is a waste when you mix it with eggnog.
Yeah, it's a waste of good rum, dude. You can't do that.
So those basics, they sent me those, and it was the funniest thing because they had this letter with it, and I thought it was the stupidest product at first. I was like, this is so stupid. They're trying to sell me VGPG in like this little bottle. And the more I looked at what they're doing, there's a reason they have this product's a tobacco product, and then a lot of their labeling on the bottle is FDA wish list labeling stuff. So that's the whole point of this. This is a Trojan horse product designed to withstand a apocalyptic flavor ban where everything is gone except the basic bitch that is basic e-liquid. So that could potentially be like the only approved PMTA product if they were insane, right? And speaking of insane, if you haven't seen the FDA video, if you search Scott Gottlieb FDA and then September 26th, it comes up. Gregory Conley, who's like a vaping advocate kind of guy, goes around trying to do stuff for vaping. He spoke on the show and he made good points. And then the FDA commissioner gets up and he talks for like probably a half hour. But in it, he says that one fifth of middle schoolers are vaping. That middle schoolers are vaping at a higher rate, so it's increasing. That they're staying permanent vapors, so they like it instead of like quitting. So that's their position, and he was flexing things like a complete online takedown of all online e-juice sales. He was discussing a complete flavor or product wash of the industry. So basically they come out and they say, you've got 3 months to take all these products off market, and then they have to be PMTA approved, and then they're going to approve acceptable flavors you can vape one by one by one. So they're in a very crazy kind of mind state to save the children.
Well, I mean, that's the argument we always make, right? But I mean,
somebody please think of the children.
Save these fucking kids, somebody.
The FDA is a regulatory body, lacks the enforcement arm to pull off that wide of an application. They just don't have the means. I mean, I don't think they do anyways. I think a lot of it's just song and dance, and then
he was
everybody
pushing
into pulling out, and then whatever. But I think they're just shaking the tree, to be honest.
He was pushing the concept of Congress approval for certain things that he may be asking for. So anyways, whatever he says, this statistic, there's basically a new data set for smokers, right? And they're releasing the data about e-cigarettes next month. And it's all part of this. Like, you get ready to hear vaping demonized in a way that you've never heard. Like, November's going to be a crazy month for vaping. We're also going to be in Vegas at the show with pretty much, most of the heavy influencers with products. Like, that shows the booths there are some pretty good brands. So they're going to be like, if it timetable wise, the FDA stuff happens anywhere near our Vegas trip, it'll be interesting to see people freaking the hell out. So good news for us. We have nothing to do with that. Primarily we focus on flavor development that doesn't even technically end up as e-juice unless you take it that way. So we're way away as DIYers. I definitely see that maybe we're going to get an announcement that says you can't order nicotine online as an individual. I think they could play that, but they'd give you a notice, but then you better have some cash stored up to buy something big.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
The children are due for a cull.
Yeah,
I'm getting the jump. This Wednesday spot gives me the news jump. So
it's harvest time.
Jarvis makes a pretty good point that freebase Nick isn't as addictive, or it's not as easy to push into the high nicotine range where people are getting the Nick buzz from fucking pod systems vaping fucking 50 milligrams.
yeah, I agree.
Overall, I can appreciate what Nick salts do for low milligram vapors like myself, because like, I mean, I vape at 3 milligram even with salts, and it's basically like having no nicotine, like flavor wise and experience wise, but I still get like a relative amount of actual enjoyable flavor and product, right? But I don't really care for the whole like fucking 36 milligram plus pod system thing, right? Because that's what, I mean, I think that's what the problem is, and I think they should just regulate the amount of nicotine you can have in a liquid.
Right. It really, if you could
like,
probably
we bring it under 12 milligrams, period, end of story.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that would all change.
I agree.
Yeah, 12 milligram freebase would fucking destroy my throat. I don't even care if it's in like a pod. Like, it would destroy me.
Like
I don't think I could do it in a pod. 12 milligrams would crush my throat.
With the nicotine salts, I bet if you put it over a chart of the rise in Juul's popularity, right? Like if you look at teens vaping, like you say, I bet the correlation isn't the pod system and the correlation isn't vaping. The correlation's nicotine salts being introduced to teen vapors. And then they're like, holy shit, this is the best thing ever I've ever tried, because they've never even had caffeine at that point, some of them. You know, so this is the first high they're going to encounter.
I mean, I think there might be a little bit of false correlation there, just because, like, Juul, yes, they were using nicotine salts, but they were also the first people to, like, actually get a pod system that doesn't suck into wide distribution. They just happen to use nicotine salts. Like, it's kind of an easy scapegoat, but you're going to have, like, these kind of, like, oh, God, the teens are vaping thing, no matter what's in the actual pod. It's the availability. It's not necessarily the product.
No, I agree. And just like we talked about before we came on stream, like I really don't feel like the burden of enforcement is even on Juul. I don't think that Juul's done anything wrong by producing what they're producing. I think that the convenience market is really the issue, right? So convenience stores notoriously, even long before vaping was a thing, were always the source of where children could get their hands on nicotine, right? They can buy cigarettes, they can get their buddies to buy them booze, their big brother, whatever, you know. And so Juul's just the next manifestation of the same problem, a problem that's never been addressed, I think, really by any major regulatory body. I don't have a problem with Juul. I don't really have a major problem with Nick salts, and I don't have like a major problem with pod systems. Like, they're not to my preference, and I don't really particularly enjoy them. But it should be, like, this whole conversation should be about how gas station attendants like just don't give a fuck, and they shouldn't, because they get paid minimum wage and they don't fucking care. They just want to fucking finish their day with the minimal amount of people screaming in their fucking faces. And you know, they can't stop people from buying shit for younger kids and not knowing any better. You know, they can't, you know, whatever. Like, but that's the issue. That's like the real issue, is that, you know, kids are going to get this shit no matter what we do and no matter what it is. And we take away the Juuls, they're just going to go back to smokes or whatever else. God knows what, right? Fuck it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it were my kid, like my oldest son is 16, and he's going to be 17 in a month. And, you know, if I caught him smoking cigarettes, I would probably flip my shit. But if I caught him vaping, I probably wouldn't blow my head off like the same way. I mean, I still wouldn't encourage it. I wouldn't enable him, but like there would definitely be a different reaction, you know.
95% less than smoking. Your reaction.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it would be. I mean, probably not 95% less because I'm still dad, and I'm an asshole. But you know what I mean. So I mean, really, the major issue is just that they can't regulate what people are going to sell out of a gas station in fucking South Dakota. You buy whatever.
The other thing he said was that if he can't get it under control in the next 12 months, he doesn't think he can. And then he also said he was 100% in favor of 4.8 million smokers switching to vaping. And he sees e-cigarettes as a step down, safer technology. So the viewpoint, at least, is reasonable. His viewpoint's like, we're trying to help out the vaping industry, and then you got all these kids hooked on this shit. It's very hard for me to like help you guys out. It's kind of the way he's talking, and it makes sense, because the bottom 20% of this industry doesn't give a fuck about the kids or the quality of the juice or anything but dollars.
Well, I mean, it's not my place to give a fuck about the kids. Obviously, I don't want anything I make. No, obviously, I don't want anything I make to cause harm to anyone, whether it's a kid or an adult. But I can't stop people. I can't stop like people from ordering on a website and not like I can have all the things in place that I'm supposed to have in place to prevent underage sales, but ultimately, like, those are easily circumvented by like a minimum amount of effort, and there's absolutely nothing I can do. The industry is still important enough to me that I obviously feel like it's still worth it to stick around, but kids are going to get their hands on this stuff and I can't stop them. So like, I'm not going to like sit here and stress the fuck out about it either. Right. Like, it's going to happen.
I mean, ultimately, you're talking about point of sale controls is going to be the big thing that stops these from getting out there.
Point of sale control is absolutely the problem, right? Like, but the problem is when you change the point of sale control, you just shift what kids are going to get their hands on, right? If they can't get Juul pods, they're going to get their hands on something else, right? So, I mean, really, what do you do? Like, it's a much bigger problem. So you can go after Juul, right? Like he's talking about, go after flavors. But kids smoked cigarettes before, and they just kept smoking until they were old, right?
Yeah. So in the earlier part of that video, they're asking high schoolers, or I guess they're high schoolers, what they think, like a high schooler perspective. And the guy said he's like, I don't see more people vaping than were smoking cigarettes before vaping. He's like, it's the same group of kids that would have done it either.
Exactly.
So it's just the deviant behavior. That kid that doesn't want to do what's right is going to go down the rabbit hole and try all those things. Vaping's just part of the steps, but they were doing it before the thing came along. They picked it up in the first place,
So we're saying the children are doomed.
Yeah. Mixlife, not for the kids, but we get it.
We're not here to judge. If
the kids aren't all right.
Yeah.
Is that what it is, right?
All right, so I haven't had nicotine, so I'm in a weird place. I bought 2 bottles of juice. They were shitty. That's where I'm at. New nicotine, thank you. Shout out to you. Appreciate the quick shipping. Yeah.
The industry standard of quick turnaround over there.
Yeah. It's like they tape it to a turtle, and the turtle walks to the one mail station on the other side of the state. Crazy.
I can't even mess with that. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I've literally started buying the $10 120s of Chem Novatic from Vapor Stack.
I really like Vapor Stack, and they're quick, man.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't I have a huge back supply that I've had for a long time, but I just kind of leave it there, and I just order the same thing, basically. I like Vapor Stack. It's rock solid, man.
I want some Carolina extract Nick salt, and I'll be happy. That'll make me a happy man.
Do we recommend all the flavors to use as a learning tool to mix? Yeah, I mean, sure, it's fine. It's an easy calculator to use. The interface is a bit cumbersome sometimes, but I think it's overall a pretty good product. And there's a lot of really like highly rated, excellent recipes available for people who are newer and want to find something. And I feel like because of the way the membership thing works, I feel like the reviews are at least a little more honest rather than ELR, like vaulted, kind of antiquated rating system. Lars, if you're watching, which you probably aren't because you're asleep, we love you and we love everything you've done to e-liquid recipes, but like the old rating system was kind of hard to sift through and find things that were actually reasonably good.
Yeah, I mean, right now where they stand, ELR is basically like your tool. It's a great tool. It's a great thing to keep your recipes, workout recipes, make 500 recipes. You're not going to hit a paywall. But when it comes to the public side, there's no, you sort by ratings, you get nothing from. I looked the other day. There's nothing. There's not one recipe in the top 100 from 2018. So like, what are you gonna do? And last year's recipes were crazy because they got reviews real quick, like real quick. So what, so all the recipes you go by reviews, you're mixing stuff from tanks and systems that aren't even used primarily right now.
Yeah, a lot of it old. It's outdated. A lot of the old stuff is outdated.
But as far as features, ELR has a better feature set for a mixer. Like when you get into mixing, but then all the flavors to me is like there's like in graphic design, you'll have like your portfolio where you have all the things you did that you really want to show off. It's not all your work, but it's stuff that you're like, this is the shit that I do that represents me. That's what all the flavors really kind of has turned into because you have to pay for it. So you're not going to be posting recipes if you don't want to pay.
You don't have to pay. There's some
you have to pay. You got to pay because after 3, you can only post 3 recipes. That's what sucks. So like you can't even be a publisher without paying.
I think that actually got changed, and it's just time gated. So you
Well,
can't
I know. I know it locked on me for a month. It locked on me, and then it wouldn't let me post a recipe. So then I like boycotted it mentally for a few months, and it wouldn't let me post anything. So he might have changed it. I know that last I heard, I mean, we're in a weird spot with our ELR, all the flavors, because Q2 had said that he was off the grid doing pro work, and then Lars has, consumed a lot of the time with his professional work. So these guys are successful in real life jobs, and then these things are kind of, I guess, suffer or just paused.
I mean, I'm completely biased here. I use ATF. I like ATF. Q has actually done quite a bit of work over the last couple months on like the server side, making sure things are actually working now, which is cool. I mean, I've noticed after he announced it or whatever on the Discord, or the DIY or Die Discord, that like his server robot upgrades actually worked out pretty well. I haven't had nearly as many like weird issues.
Yeah, no, overall, I really like ATF better as a showcase and like keep stuff up, like out for the public. But then as a mixer, like ELR is just more efficient. It's faster to load recipes in. It's faster for me to work in. Like it's just quicker, right? Maybe it's just because I'm more familiar with it because I used it for years before I went to all the flavors, but I'm quick with it, and the database is bigger overall because it's just been used for more years. It doesn't mean that all the flavors is inferior, but there's just a wider range of information available. I like
where else can you get bootleg Concrete River notes than ELR, folks?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of great bootleg Concrete River notes in the flavor notes now because somebody cross-posted all your flavor notes into the ELR flavors.
Whatever works. Yeah.
There'll be a sentence of Russian because they've taken some Russian flavor note too, and they put it together. But if you go to most flavors in ELR and you scroll down the notes section, the good ones, Concrete Rivers. It'll be.
I mean, there's plenty of other people who post good notes.
Yeah, there's a guy on there. Pro Vapes, I think is his name. He posts a lot of flavor notes, a ton of flavor notes, but he only posts them on ELR. I don't think he does anything anywhere else. And then there's a couple other guys like Kenaware.
There's good ones. I'm not saying that he's the only one that posts, but
yeah,
I will find a Concrete River note more often than not hidden in there. So you should get your Bitcoin.
But I like them both. I think they both serve a good purpose for the community. And like Jen was saying, there isn't enough money in running a recipe site like that, even with a paid subscription, to make it worth a full-time job, right? Like there's no market, there's not enough market demand for that. So I mean, either way, these are like these guys' hobbies that they made these for us, for the whole community. So they both deserve to be used and enjoyed. And I don't really knock one or the other.
Well,
I don't think it's a real debate. Like ATF, I put up stuff if I want to showcase. ELR, I use a lot more professionally. I think it's really excellent for transmitting private recipes for commercial stuff and like just for keeping a log of stuff saved. It's faster to access. It loads quicker. It's just faster.
All the flavors has 14,884 e-liquid mixers currently. So, I mean, some duplicates maybe, some that are fake, but that gives you an idea. Like, so you're fishing out of like 15,000, maybe, mixers that would have an ELR and all the flavors together.
Yeah, Jarvis, I used to do that too, like the recipes and notebooks thing. I have like a database on my tablet that I use next to my mixing station for just like quick work or quick save stuff. And then I transfer it over when I decide if I'm going to keep it or move it to something.
Yeah, if we get a project that's like 5 recipes, 10 recipes, I'll start with writing out the concepts of the flavors, like where some ideas, and then I'll write out how I would probably make that if I had ELR up. So I'll do paper 2 on the first round of just like, this is kind of where I want to head with this recipe, and then I'll build it in ELR. I'll save it in ELR, and then I'll go check my flavor percentages and make sure where I wanted to go made sense with kind of the averages, and then do a round, see where you go, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, paper is a good way to go because it causes you to think about the flavors away from a device, and think more creatively. Yeah, Jen said ELR has a bigger database. Hey.
Yeah, overall, I have to agree. The database is like just larger.
Did you feel satisfied?
It's larger.
I'm never satisfied.
It's thicker.
Cocaine River.
Oh, Lord. Rick's is bigger. All right. Well, I can live with that. It's fine.
It's cool. It's nothing to write home about. We're good.
Well, I mean, we'll see you in Vegas, so it'll be all right.
That's gonna happen. Yeah, if you're close to Vegas, come out and hang out with us. We're gonna have fun. We all need a vacation. You probably need a vacation.
And the Flavora staff are gonna need a shoulder to cry on after we're done with them.
Yeah, you could load up with easily like a year's worth of stuff on this one because you got chefs there, you got Flavora there, you got other vendors there. We're there mixing stuff up, and we're gonna have Liquid Barn basic stuff.
Yeah, Liquid Barn's gonna be there in force. As I understand it, Ryan from Cap is gonna be there.
Cool, Ryan Silva.
Yeah,
very cool guy.
Capella should have a showing. I'm not sure who else.
I want to kiss him on the mouth for that green apple hard candy flavor.
I just got it in. I'm pretty pumped about it, dude.
It's definitely worth kissing Ryan from Capella on the mouth for. So.
Is he the guy behind all that stuff?
I don't know, but
I thought he was just a distributor guy.
Okay, I'm going to have to kiss somebody on the mouth. It might as well be him. He'll be there.
All right.
Brian is family. Like he's a nephew or his uncle is one of the original founders of Capella. And they started as a coffee flavoring company. And so he just grew up around this flavoring business, and then it turned vaping, and he saw the opportunity. So he's I think the distributor for, so if you're a big brand and you want to use Capella in your e-juice, he's the guy you go to. If you want a tanker of VG or PG, tanker, like a tank, like a gasoline truck full of VG or PG, he's the guy to call. So if you ever need it, Ryan Silva with Capella. It's really silver flavors, I think, something like that.
I'm gonna holler at him and see if he can just start filling my bathtub weekly with vegetable glycerin.
He's really cool. I've been friends with him since started e-juice makers, and he was in Puerto Rico during that hurricane, so got to watch all that crazy stuff, and just a cool guy. So if you're in the industry and you need Capella stuff, he's the guy to talk to.
I heard it is a whisper. I don't know. I can't confirm for sure that he'll be there, but most of the e-juice makers crews looks like it's going to be there.
I've got plane tickets and a hotel, so that's happening, and I got babysitters.
I have been dragging my feet on the reservations thing. I had everything else settled, but I just have not made travel arrangements yet.
Are you driving though? Or are you flying?
So I thought about driving, but I don't. My car sucks, and it would be expensive. And it's old, and it might die. I thought about meeting halfway with Rick, which I'm still considering, and then driving down. But I'm trying to figure out how to secure my vehicle somewhere in a weird country town for a week while I'm in Vegas, making terrible life choices.
Just drive it into a park and cover it with foliage.
Foliage. Well, it's a large white minivan.
So a lot of foliage. Foliage?
Yeah.
Foliage.
There's a kid poking it with a stick the next day.
Right. I'll just trap a bear in it. Nobody will fuck with it then.
What's this? Look at this, a redneck alarm.
Just take your kid and a whole bunch of fruit snacks and give him a loaded gun and tell him to shoot anybody that gets close.
Yeah, that's probably actually a good solution.
Yeah.
Babysitting by Rick.
Parenting tips by Concrete River.
It would get more views than this. It would.
No, I'm driving down. We maybe meet in Koppel. We'll figure it out. But yeah, should be a good time.
Yeah, I checked the route. I think, I would talk to you about it later, but I think it's still feasible.
Road trip.
Koppel can get tired of me in real life and not just over the internet. It will be all sorts of fun.
Well, I can just ignore you and vape, fill the car up with vape. It'll be all right.
Dude, I'm gonna have to like take a fucking Brillo pad to the windows after that trip.
Yeah, for sure. Does your girl vape?
No.
So she's gonna hate us the whole ride down there.
I mean, she's very tolerant. She puts up with me, and my house is constantly fogged out. So.
All right. Okay.
It's kind of funny because when I used to, like, she has asthma. When I used to smoke, like, even if I had, like, snuck off and had a cigarette or whatever, just the smell of it on my clothes would, like, get to her fucking lungs. Since I started vaping, she didn't have any problems with it, so I've just abused that by just saying, okay, that means I can vape around you constantly now.
Yeah, I mean...
D Millen and a couple of people are mentioning live stream stuff from the mix floor. I think that there's some intention to do that. I personally don't have a data plan that will support that kind of craziness, but I'm sure that it will happen.
I don't have a phone that has a camera.
All right, so
no, I have a phone that has a camera, but we'll all look like potatoes shaking bottles, and it won't go well.
They hired
it's not a good camera.
They hired a company to do this. That is a game streaming. So you know the esports thing going on where they video the people playing the sport.
Oh god, they're gonna put this on Twitch.
So they literally have these kind of like camera crew coming, which is like a video game, multi-camera.
Do we get makeup? Like, because I feel like we need makeup. I don't think
just the powder.
Right, the lighting hides my ruddy complexion.
Graham's gonna be like, I have makeup.
Yeah, I don't want any, because he probably laced that with some weird LSD or something like that. I mean, I get we're in Vegas.
I feel like we need to bury some hatchets before something pops off.
Yeah, I don't want him to punch me in the face. I need an I Love Graham shirt.
Graham's gonna poison us.
It's only in jest because I like him.
We don't want to reignite the rivalry.
Trim the beard. Alaska Vapor. Don't tell me. No, that's not.
We're gonna get Tupac in Vegas.
I'm gonna like put some like Miracle Grow in it before we go, so I can roll in there like ZZ Top.
Gotta wear matching suits and just have a boombox playing Sharp Dressed Man
The whole time. No way, dude. It's gonna be Highway to the Danger Zone all the way through it.
I mean, I just like the ZZ Top thing because I'm a fat guy. I like scooters, so let's make this happen.
I can do that. We can do that. Let's get some mopeds, dude, or some Vespas to roll in on.
Yeah,
Just
there we
ride them
go.
around the convention. I mean, it's got to be better than Segways, like everybody else.
I'm
You guys
gonna
been
get
in-
one of those little kids like fake sport bike things, like one of the little pocket bikes, and just tear ass through the convention.
If they give us name tags, that's what I'm writing on every single one.
You got to get a rickshaw.
Jen.
You get a rickshaw and ride it. You know, oranges without a shirt. And just make.
I'm just gonna be on a washed up base on like a board with wheels, and I'm just gonna roll in there like playing it right in overalls and nothing else.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because we're the country cousins of the vape world. So
It's true.
So-
It's true.
So the rickshaw rides in a circle in front of the convention center. So we're fulfilling the mixer out front thing. But you're wearing an e-juice maker's hat, eating orange, no shirt, while the rickshaw goes in a circle playing some sort of hip hop of your choice.
Do
See?
see,
That's-
you keep threatening this e-juice maker's hat thing. You don't have the technology to make a hat that will fit my gigantic head.
I mean, I have a
Okay.
size 8, so it can't be that much worse than mine.
I just
No,
need
it's a
I just
size
need
8
an
too,
address.
Yeah.
I need an address, and the hat will be en route.
Like the Flavora hat is like just a smidge too tight, and I got the biggest one they had.
No, dude, like Flavor was nice enough to like special order me a hat, and it kind of fits on my head, but also looks more like a yarmulke. Like
kinda-
I've got real hat problems.
I get like a mega line right here, like straight across, like
Yeah.
a dented in. It's pretty brutal.
No,
We're walking in with the entourage. We're rolling 6 deep plus crew plus fans. The e-juice makers will be the entourage.
Fans.
Fans.
Super
Air
fans.
quotes.
By fans, he means we're gonna swing by happy hour and pay anybody $10 to come walk through the doors with us, so we look cool. And then they'll
We're
probably
gonna-
all like, well,
gonna-
at least one of them will die of an overdose over the course of the next 15 minutes.
You know
We're
what
gonna
we
hire
need?
a crowd.
We need like a giant bathtub for the middle of the DIY mixing room, and we just need to lean into the bathtub mixing thing.
I can get behind that.
Just put a fucking lampshade on the bathtub mixing.
And then after we do shots off of Brandon's moose knuckle, we can take turns trying to drive into it. It'll be great.
That's why. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why Wayne's channel got demonetized. Was that?
Brandon's moose knuckle.
Yeah.
We're gonna fill the bathtub with VG, and then you're gonna walk in, and I'm gonna be saying, "I'll wash myself with a rag on a stick." Yeah.
As long as you're not quoting Gummo, it will be okay. We'll make it through. Oh, good lord, good lord. All right. Well, we got anything else exciting going on? Not really. We got a lot of new shit coming. So watch Chef's page the next month or two. Chef's just relaunched their Chef's Vapor line. So keep an eye out on that. There's gonna be some cool shit coming down that way. It's gonna be fun.
It'd be a laugh a minute.
Or at least, I mean, the whole point is just to get Carl to retire at Barry Island, right? Like that's the plan. Carl, if you're watching, I hope you love Barry Island.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Apparently, Barry Island is like a really shitty place, right? That was his like gripe, but I've never been there, so I don't know.
I got to shout out Scott Miller in the chat. The theme for Vegas is going to be 8 balls and overalls. I love that.
8 balls and overalls. Is that like an actual thing?
I don't know, but it should be.
It is
8
now.
balls and overalls. Well, there will be at least 8 balls present. 27 if we count Brandon's.
The Late Late Show.
Because I'm pretty sure he's got like 9 tucked in that monster. Like,
You'd have to make the logistics of that make sense.
right? Like, there's just no way. He has to have extras. It's just
He can't take a bag on the plane because that's his carry-on.
That's why he had all that information about when I was complaining about carry-on luggage prices in the fucking Discord.
He's already been trying to book the moose knuckle its own seat.
Speaking of crazy news, okay, so we're talking about vaping clamping down on the convenience store, and over here, LAX airport is now allowing you to fly with an ounce of marijuana to any location.
That doesn't mean they won't seize it from you in security anyway out the other.
Correct, but the press thing said, please make sure it's legal in the destination that you're flying to, which means they're not going to do anything. So they've just opened America more than it was, I guess, because you can get on a plane in LAX without a problem.
Not any more than the cartels have already opened it, like way wide. Yeah, that's right. The dead man, Las Vegas airport that says you can fly with weed wherever you go. But I mean, if you're gonna fly it into like DC, you might want to keister it.
Or maybe just buy it locally.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand. Like, weed isn't like a thing that's just like so hard to find that you need to like fly with it to somewhere illegal and risk something stupid.
Jack Daniels prices at this rock concert. I'll just keister it.
Right. Like, I mean, like, I could theoretically, I mean, I would be fine to like buy weed in Vegas and fly with it to here, but I could also stop at the dispensary probably 20 feet from the airport and pick up a giant bag after I got home, and it'd be fine. So that's it. That's Oregon. Oh, how many states are legal now? Like 5?
13, 8, 13? Something.
It's creeping up there.
The seventh wheel, since you guys.
I don't know.
That's all right. Check waters. If you come and hang out, it'd be fine, dude. Come hang out. It's gonna be a big thing. There's like lots of stuff to do. You think about going? Come hang out. I don't know. Take selfies with Rick's mustache. It'd be cool, dude. We're always game to hang out. It'd be fun. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. So, I mean, mostly we're just gonna be shilling like the whole time, anyways. How much free shit should I expect if I went? Probably a lot of free shit. There's like 70 or 80 vendors that are going to be there. It's not all DIY. There's going to be lots of other juice vendors. There's a big modders market, big mod area, right? Lots of RDAs and a bunch of other cool shit. It'd be tons of cool stuff. Every time I've ever gone to like a convention thing, I've always ended up with like a ton of shit, like way more shit than I could ever reasonably vape in a year. So,
I mean, it depends on if your kind of hand job is free or not. You're technically working for it.
Yeah, there's an admission fee, but I have no idea how much it is. Is that site up yet? The Vegas one. I'll see if it.
Yeah, but you could walk with like 10. How many mixers are on that list? That DIY, like 10 of us at least. Something. So 10.
Yeah, it's most of e-juice makers. I think Fresh is going to be there. Wayne's going to be there. I
got the thing open. Let me look.
Here's
yeah, so there's like 14 people on this list of who's going. So if you were to show up and just go to the DIY section and you went to each mixer and got just the signature recipe that we have, you're walking away with like 900 mils of juice potentially. Maybe they only let you go to one mixer. I don't know what they're going to do. But if you can go to every mixer and get a 60 mil of a flavor.
I know they're going to have smaller basic bottles for us to hand out as samples. So I don't think they're going to be 60s, but
we're going to burn through all of their basic bottles as quick as we can, so we can just fuck off for the rest of the time.
Yeah, I'm going to fill them all up with 10% dandelion and burdock and move on with my week.
Is DD going to be there?
Oh, I need to email Danny. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, I'm going to be
I'm gonna do that.
50% of the time. I'm going to be a great boyfriend and be missing in action. So I'll be at Cirque du Soleil and things like that.
It'll be all right. Rick and I will be there chilling full time. Don't worry.
There is a CBD show next door.
Well, I'll be chilling full time. I don't know about Rick being a good boyfriend or not.
It looks like last time I looked at the website.
Oh, that face, Rick. That was good. I can feel the poison through the internet connection.
She likes me for who I am. She'd have to because I literally bring nothing else to the table. So
if you're press, it's free. If you want B2B access, $25. It's $25 a ticket. That's worth it. There'll be a modders gallery if you like building coils and things. But I think they're having a CBD show the same day at the same place. It was in some weird, it was like a website at the end of their video ad, and I looked up the website and then it showed. So, and it said our passes will work at both. So I don't know if that's for real, but if it is, that could totally be a good time for us to meet some industry people in that industry too. So it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I just shot off an email to Danny to see if they're going. Because if he answers yes, I need to figure out how he's going to ship in or fly in a gallon of dandelion and burdock for me.
you'll have to keister it. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he does, then I definitely can't fly. I'll have to drive. I'll have to ride back with you. It'll be cool. I mean, but I'll split the gallon with you. It'll be fun.
Okay, cool.
I should be pumped. I'm pretty pumped. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be crazy.
Mixlife 72.
Yeah, we're about the end. Do we got any last minute questions? Anything I missed? I'm gonna scroll through this real quick. Wade Nixon started to say something about HEF, but then stopped.
Are there any burning desires?
CBD and concentrates need a lot of flavoring help. The biggest problem with that is the carriers they use in CBDs taste like shit, and you can't cover it up. Like, you can try, and you can kind of get there, but a lot of the problem in CBD flavoring is the carrier. That's why they work better, and they work better. They honestly work better as edibles, anyways. They don't cross the blood-brain barrier the same way that THC and nicotine do. So they're less effective when you vape them. Bottom line.
Word.
That's that.
Good night, everybody.
All right, man. Have a good night. Cheers.